Hello traders, and welcome out to the Market Watch Group Placing Your First Trade video series. This is just for you beginners or those who want to come back and make sure that the foundation they're standing on is solid. This is all about placing your first trade. This first video is about the basics. We have to have a few things in place before we're able to move forward and start trading. So we want to make sure that we walk you through each step of getting ready, each step of preparing, each step of taking, each step of managing, and then each step of recording the trade. That's what we're going to be working on. My name is Scott Beck. It's great to meet you. I'm the head trading coach here, and you'll be hearing a lot from me, not necessarily seeing me. This is pretty unique. If I seem just a little bit uncomfortable with the camera on and being down here in the bottom right-hand corner, that's because I am. But I wanted to get to know you, introduce myself personally. We're going to be working together very closely. And so I'm excited to have you here and listening to this presentation. Without further ado, let's dive into it. You'll see this a lot, but I need to remind you about our disclaimers and remind you that we are not brokers. We are not advisors. We don't give guidance or recommendations. Everything we do is collaboratively as a group for illustration and education purposes. Make sure that we all take ownership for our trades. And now let's talk about the agenda. So today we're working on placing the first trade. Maybe you've already done it, but it didn't feel right. Maybe you just haven't gotten yourself comfortable pulling the trigger. That's what we want you doing. Everything here is about getting you to that comfortable place. And it's not just these videos. Start coming to the Tuesday and Thursday night trading foundation sessions. Ask your questions. We do a lot of what we're doing here in those. This is just a chance to watch it over and over, make some notes, get yourself comfortable, get yourself ready. So let's just talk about a few things, right? This is what we're going to be talking about. Number one, what is a stock? You may not be comfortable with the difference between an ETF and a regular stock. And can we trade them both? Let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about how the stock market works, not just like how are stocks issued, but how does it work relative to you getting on a platform, placing a trade, managing a trade. How are you becoming a part of the market through that interaction? We want to talk about picking a broker. You've got to pick a broker. We'll talk about what are the characteristics you might be looking for in determining what broker you want to trade with. Once you've picked the broker, you need to select the trading platform. Most of the times they're going to have multiple platforms. You should pick their most sophisticated. We'll talk about that in more detail. You need to set up your account. You need to get comfortable with your trading platform, right? Once you get the account, you download it, you get access to the account, and you should start paper trading. That's the next thing we're going to talk about. So make sure that you download the paper trading, you have access. That's what we're going to talk about in detail right now. So let's stop looking at slides. Let's start looking at platforms and our Discord channel and get into the meat. Okay, now keep in mind, everything we're doing today, everything we're doing in this video series is working toward your first trade. Doesn't matter whether it's a live trade and you're putting skin in the game, live money in the trade, or whether you are placing a paper trade. And if it's your first, I absolutely recommend doing a paper trade first. Do your first 10, maybe even your first 25 on paper. Give yourself the opportunity to learn without risk. Very valuable. Highly recommend that. But that's what we're doing. Let's get towards that first trade. Now, some of you may be thinking, I'm not even quite sure if I'm trading a stock or an ETF. What do we mean when we say a stock? And it could be either one. We could mean a stock, which is a company, like I have on my chart right now, AXP, that's American Express. Whether it's AXP or Apple or Google or Bank of America or Caterpillar, right? Any of these companies, these are stocks. But we also watch SPY, QQQ, IWM. Those are ETFs, exchange traded funds, but they're also stocks. These are all stocks. We're trading stocks. Some of them are companies, some of them are combinations of companies, but at the end of the day, it's a stock. Now, in this series, we're talking about making a stock trade. So buying a stock, that's what we're working towards. So as we think about how we fit into how the stock market works, we are looking to buy a certain number of shares. Now, at any given time, there is a fluid market going on. In fact, the number of shares that traded on AXP today is 2,589,997. That's a lot of shares. So if we decide we want to buy 50, buy 100, buy 1,000, plenty available. And we do want to make sure with stock, yes, with options more so liquidity, very important to us. The ability to move in and out of a trade, to have very tight differences between bid and ask, which is the amount of money that market makers are charging to transact. That's all part of what we're doing here. So we are just looking to buy from the open market and then sell back to the open market. All right, which means this is happening during market hours, anytime from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. Now, in order for you to do this, you're going to have to pick a broker. The platform that I'm on here, the platform that you're going to see me using in the Market Watch group, is from Charles Schwab. A couple of years ago, it was from Ameritrade. And quite a few years before that, it was actually its own company called Thinkorswim. This is a specific trading platform. I've been on this platform for a long time. It is very, very widely renowned for its options tools. And I am definitely an options trader. You will see in this video, it's stocks, but you will see in our group and in our next video series, we are doing an options trade. I definitely lean that way. As an active trader, leverage is very important for me to get chips on the table. If I only trade stocks, it's going to be very difficult for me to actually leverage as much as I want in a bullish market. And that might not make sense to you now, but when you get to risk management, it's going to make more and more sense. Trust me. Now, picking a broker. You want to pick somebody who has a paper trading account. That's huge. Can I practice? Things that you should be thinking about are things like the charts that they offer, the trading tools that they offer. As I said, Thinkorswim has great options analytical tools. The order types. Do they have one cancels other, one triggers other, conditional orders? Fidelity is a broker, Morgan Stanley. Actually, I don't even know if they have an account these days. I think they still do online trading. Fidelity definitely does Tasty Trade. There's a number of different brokers that you can look into, but I would recommend that you go read some reviews. I'm not giving a recommendation. I'm saying this is the one that you're going to see me use. I've obviously chosen it for a reason. If you had a different set of reasons, you might choose a different broker. So keep that in mind. But what you want to do first and foremost is open the account. Now, what this is actually a platform. So you would open your account with Charles Schwab. Then you would download the Thinkorswim software. And that's the same. If you open an account at Fidelity, you should download their Active Trader Pro software. If you download an account with TradeStation, you should download their most recent trade platform. If you download, right? So every broker is going to have an online account and an ability to trade. You're not looking for the web version. You're looking for the software version. That's where you're going to find the best tools, the most sophistication. That's where traders go. That's where you should go. So you want to make sure that you open an account. You don't even have to fund it usually. You can just open it, tell them you'll send a check. You can download the paper account and you can start paper trading. Like I said, everything that we're doing right now is working toward placing your first trade. You can't place a trade without an account, and you don't have to have a funded account if you have a paper account. So get the account set up. Whether or not you fund it doesn't matter yet. Just get the account set up, download the paper account, and now you're ready to go. You need to get comfortable with a trading platform. I want you to see I have the ability to monitor. I have the ability to place trades. I have the ability to look at charts. I have the ability to use different types of tools and analyze trades before I get into them. So this is the kind of thing that you're looking for. You need to get comfortable with the platform. Now, as we go through and build this first trade, and we're going to use AXP as an example. This is going to be our example. We're going to use this. We're going to buy this, right? So as of right now, what do I know about this stock? It's $244 per share. That's what it closed at today. I know it has options. I know it has weekly options because I can see that they're listed here. I have the ability to simulate a trade. I have the ability to place a trade, and that's what we're going to be doing, is getting you comfortable working with the platform. We're going to get you comfortable with paper trading so that you start placing trades. Now, if you're here as a review, you might already be live trading. Okay. If I go through these videos and you find that there's things you're like, wow, I should have been doing this and I haven't, it might be a great time to actually take a step back, take yourself away from the risk, and just say, I'm going to do 25 trades on paper where I do everything exactly the right way from start to finish. That's what I'm looking for. Now, in the beginning, you might think, wait a second, I don't know if I'm doing this right. Exactly. If it's the very beginning, just start trading. Just start trading. Now, here's the great news. Remember that we are going to be sending you alerts. Sometimes 1 or 2 times, sometimes 2 or 3, sometimes like last week when we had a market pullback, we didn't send any. But if you come into the Discord and you come in here to trade alerts, you're going to notice that this is where the trade alerts will be found, and you will have these available and ready to go. Okay. Now, last thing. When you're paper trading, most of the time, and I want you to look into this feature, you have the ability to change the value of your account. You start with $100,000 or $50,000. Now, unless you're going to trade with $100,000 or $50,000 account, that's not helping you work towards placing your first trade. When you place your first live trade, if you have a $10,000 account, when you practice, I want you to practice with the $10,000 account. And if you're going to do a $10,000 account with 2% risk, which is $200, I want you to practice with $10,000 account, 2% risk, which is $200. The way you practice will be the way you trade. Yeah? So figure out how to adjust the account to your account size so that what you're practicing with, and I will show you how you can do that in the next video with Thinkorswim. So that is going to be something that we'll look into on the next video so that you can make the adjustment, start with the right amount, and now paper trading is going to look and feel exactly the way it's going to when you're going live. So remember, everything we're doing right now, working towards placing your first trade. You should have a good sense of what a stock is and start thinking of what you're going to trade. Now remember, we have a watch list. You can find that watch list in the resources in Discord. We have trades that come your way. So there's plenty of opportunity for you to just, hey, we'll give you things. Tuesdays and Thursdays in our foundations class, we build trades every single week, just live. So there should be no hesitation. There should be nothing limiting you. You need to get your broker picked. You need to set up the account. You need to get the platform downloaded. You need to start watching some tutorials, start getting comfortable with the platform, and start paper trading. Paper trade 15, 20 times and then reset and say, now I'm going to do it more in rules. And then you'll reset again and you'll say, now this is exactly what it's going to be. We're building towards something. But that first something is that first trade. We got to take the first trade. I want you to get comfortable with that Because when you get that first trade under your belt, then we get the second and then the third, and then all of a sudden you realize you can do this. That's where we're going to get. It's great to see you guys. I hope you catch me on the next video. Work right into the next one. Go to video number 2. Get through all 6 of these. Get that first trade under your belt. Then we'll work our way into the options. We've got you. We're going to walk you through this. Thanks, everybody. Okay, now that we've finished the meat of the presentation, let's talk about some next steps. Now what? One video at a time. You'll do some next steps, do the next video, do some next steps, next video. By the time you get through the end of these 6 videos, you'll either have taken your first trade and you're already managing it, or you'll be ready to take that first trade. Either way, let's get you there. So what are the next steps? Number 1, move to the next video. Now that you've got the basics in place, we need to find a stock to trade. We're going to walk you through that step by step. Number 2, make sure that you have your paper account set up and ready to trade so that you can get some risk-free experience. The next thing I want you to do is spend some time working on the platform. Watch some videos. Possibly have a conversation with somebody from the company to walk you through. That's what they're there for. But you need to get comfortable with the platform because you can't wait until you're on real money. You got to be really comfortable before you get to real money so that we don't make mistakes simply from the anxiety of trading live. Lastly, I want you to start getting into Discord and engaging with the community. Say hello to me, say hello to your fellow traders, ask a question, answer a question, give some insight, say hello, whatever it is you want to do, but get in there, start to share your experiences, your insight. We want you on the inside engaging and interacting with other traders. The community is part of what you're buying with your subscription to the MarketWatch group. So with that in mind, it's great to have you. I'm glad to have walked you through this first video. I can't wait to walk you through the next one and the next one. Let's get this in place. Let's get you ready to trade. As always, happy trading.